The following contest is an Ironman match. On the way to the ring, from New York, New York, Ashley. And the opponent, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Candice Michelle.
A big New England welcome from Portland, Maine. This is good old JR, Tim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
I've never seen a crowd so fired up, JR. They can't wait to get started, and neither can I.
That makes two of us, King. I don't think Portland's going to know what hit it after tonight. Ashley is one of the most beautiful and athletic divas it has ever been my privilege to watch.
Beautiful and athletic. That's everything I look for in a woman.
You might want to improve your odds by adding blind and deaf to that list too. Excellent counter. What ring presence. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
Climbing up the turnbuckle isn't bad. It's all the ways you could come down that hurt.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something quick. What a counter.
No one's ever going to confuse Candice with a look at this. Look at this. You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here.
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well. Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
Not if they have their way, King. Everything they came in here with tonight is going to be left in that ring, mark my words.
I hope these fans appreciate it, JR. These superstars are putting it all on the line for them right here tonight.
Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way.
What a reversal.
Flat on your back with your shoulders on the mat is no place to be. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences, and there's a little something for the crowd. The best superstars never ignore their fame.
The best superstars also finish off their opponents instead of giving them time to recover. There's the reversal. I think someone's going for a high-risk move, JR. We could have a pinfall here, JR.
1, 2, 3. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar. I think this crowd has to...
Oh no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this!
Wow! Could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary?
And there's the cover! 1, 2.
If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. Now that is just about the last position you want to find yourself in.
JR, if you can think of a worse one, I'd love to hear it, because I sure can't.
Ashley is one diva who doesn't know the meaning of the word quit.
Yeah, or the meaning of the words, call me back when you get this. I must have left a dozen messages for her in the past couple of days. I don't see why Candice agreed to this match, JR. She should join us on commentary. She can sit on my lap, and we can talk about the first thing that pops up.
Folks, I've got to apologize for the King. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I bet it came in a little blue pill.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except for us to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again.
This could be a pinfall. 1, 2.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are... And now a pin! This could be it! 2. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world.
I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not...
Looks like someone's heading for the high-risk district.
Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's going on in the ring.
Oh, boy. Of all the things that can happen to you in a ring, that's got to be one of the most painful.
No kidding, JR. That's some very delicate equipment down there.
We could be looking at a pinfall here, folks. 2.
Here's the cover, JR.
1, 2. What an incredible performance. Straddling that ring rope has got to be just about the most uncomfortable thing a human being can endure.
No kidding, JR. That's worse than an all-day donkey ride.
I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought.
Ben, could this be it?
1, 2.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be out of a job.
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it?
You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. Oh, man, I think we're about to see a high-risk move here.
Talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... Oh, go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker.
2. 3. 4.
Ashley's stamina is incredible. Most divas would be completely exhausted by now.
What are you talking about? She doesn't look that tired to me.
She should be. She's been running through my mind all night long.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, without these fans, these superstars are out of a job. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live.
I tell you,
These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse.
1. 2. 3.
I certainly question some of Candice's techniques from time to time, but there's no denying that she's got a fierce competitive spirit and some serious athletic ability.
not to mention an incredible pair of legs. I wonder what time they open.
There's no room for error when you're on the top rope.
You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you.
And here's the pin.
1. 2.
Oh boy, these fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
The intensity of these superstars is unbelievable.
No doubt about that, King. The fans are getting their money's worth here tonight.
There's the pin.
1. 2.
These superstars are beating the heck out of each other. And
1.
this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knock. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
Question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than... That's a short climb, but a potentially long fall.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, man! I'd like nothing better than for Ashley to take me home and call me daddy.
Or grandpa, as the case may be.
5.
You know, King, I'm not sure that Candice is all there most of the time. She seems a little spacey to me.
1.
That makes sense, JR. I think her ring attire might have been made on the moon, because her body is out of this world.
You know, just when I think you can't embarrass me any further, you somehow find a way.
Oh, come on.
Here's your winner,